Welcome back to the Anthony Lee Crypto Channel. We are live. It is Sunday. How is everyone? It is gloomy, rainy, and not cold, but a little cooler today in the old Mississippi. How's everyone doing? Bitcoin kind of dumping down a little bit today, right? Actually, big dump. So, kind of expected this. I told you in the Discord this morning that, or maybe even yesterday, both, I think that we were at value area high, rejecting, and if we couldn't get above it, we would be moving down, and that's exactly what's happening right now. Altcoins dumping after a pretty nice little rally over the weekend, guys. Did y'all get on some of this altcoin action? We put you on it Friday with some alts. Did anybody get in those? We did several trades last week on alts. We're up a ton of money. I don't even know how much money we're up on alts. We're up a lot. But we're back. Let's see who is here. We got Salt Chain. Hey, Max, what's up? Thanos, my main man, Thanos in here. What's going on, y'all? Let's take a look, guys, at what news is upcoming this week. Look out for the flashbang, y'all. Little flashbang here. So it's a weird week. A lot of people look at this week. So tomorrow is a holiday. It's Monday's a holiday for like everybody. We got President's Day here in the U.S. And then it looks like Asia, I guess they have New Year's like all week. I guess they separate. I don't know. Maybe I knew that. Maybe I didn't. But they're closed all week, so I guess they take an entire week for Chinese New Year. So, whatever. It's going to be a really weird week, but we do have some news reports coming out. Starting on Wednesday, we have durable goods, and Thursday, the initial jobs. The biggie for the U.S. will be Friday with core PCE and GDP. So Friday, expect some pretty big volatility. But for the rest of the week, Asia's closed. So not so fast. You might be thinking, well, shoot, if Asia's closed and the U.S. is closed, tomorrow will probably be dead. Monday, everybody is closed. And I mean like everybody. There's no news. The U.S. is closed. Asia's closed. Everybody's closed. So Monday will probably be dead. But the rest of the week, if you think it's going to be a dead week just because Asia's closed all week, not so fast. See, with one of the world's major markets closed, that is an opportunity for the rest of the markets to move price easier, okay? They're going to have less resistance. So depending on which way they want to take the market, it could go very fast, okay? And I'm going to show you. So this week is, what is today? I don't even know what today is. Tomorrow's the 16th, so 16th through the 20th. Let's take a look back at last time we had this same area, guys. Last time we had this same little holiday. Look at this big old dump-ola down, guys, right there. You see it. I'm going to put an arrow in case you don't see the box. You see this right here. Boom. So with Asia closed and no resistance, they dumped the Bitcoin about 15%. So you can see there's going to be less resistance. Whether they want to go to the upside or the downside, Asia's not going to be there to fight it. So that's a major market. So you don't really know which way they're going to go yet. But they can go there a lot faster if they choose. Anyway, we are just kind of watching price here. We've got Bitcoin moving down today. We called this morning in the Discord. Altcoins moving down as well. We're going to take a look and see what we can expect from those. I do have a poll going in chat. If you guys want to hit up the poll, we would appreciate it. We're going to take a look at that in just a few. Give me one sec. All right. So you see, I've got here on the chart, I've got the blue line, the red line, and the blue line, as we like to call it. Those are our value area ranges. This is the buy bid. I'm on the KCEX chart. I'm trading on KCEX KCTrading.com. Lowest fees in the game, 0.01% market order fees. You just can't beat that. I also trade on MEXC, MEXCTrading.us. They also have 0.1% trading fees. I don't know of any other exchange that has that low of trading fees, market order fees nonetheless. So if you're not on them, you're missing out. Be sure you go directly to those links. But anyway, sorry guys, looks like I'm getting a little lag. Hopefully I'm not lagging too bad. I'm kind of watching the stats over here. All right, so I'm on the KCEX chart, but I have the blue line, red line, blue line here marked out. That is the buy bit value area range. I always have the buy bit value area ranges on here and key levels for buy bit because they're respected so well. It's a much larger exchange, but I trade on KCEX, so price is slightly different on each exchange. So I want to look at price on my exchange, but I want to watch the levels on Bybit. I showed this graphic in the Discord earlier. Let's see if I can go back and find it. That each and every time in the past that we have closed, Bitcoin has closed, you see the 4 times in the past, you've come down and rejected from the value area high, right? Reject 1, 2, 3, 4, and close. This is on the weekly time frame. And close this weekly candle each and every single time you have rotated down to the value area low, okay? And as of this morning, we were at 70,200 and we were hugging that value area high. And I told them that if we close back inside the range, the weekly candle inside the range, that we're very likely to rotate to the bottom of the value area, which comes in about 59K, guys. So you could be looking at a big old dump. It may not go there in one day. Here, it went there in one single candle. This time, it took it 3 candles, 3 days. No, I'm sorry, that was weeks, 3 weeks. Here, it took it 1 week, the next week, and here the next week. So you usually go there within the week. So if we close in the range today with the weekly candle, and it's looking like it's going to, unless Bitcoin can get a heck of a bounce out of here, you'd have to get about a $2,000 bounce from current price action, which it certainly could do. You've dumped over $2,000 today, so certainly could do it. But it's not looking good. Indicators are kind of pointing to the downside. I want to show you something else in a second, guys, but let's go ahead and jump right into it, actually. So here we're looking at our, I call it the bear leg fractal. This is the bear leg of the last cycle, 2022, and we've looked at this numerous times. But we had this little pump today or over the weekend, and everybody, I'm watching crypto videos. I watched 2 or 3 this morning, and everybody was talking about how we're going to just pump on up out of there. Like, we're going to 80K and all this stuff, and I just don't understand. Maybe I'm missing something. Maybe I'm not seeing it, but I don't understand. There's nothing on the chart that indicates to me that we're fixing to pump up out of here. Now, I do expect another high, okay? I do not a high, but do expect that this range to get broken. So far, this fractal from last cycle, we're following it to a T, and I mean to a freaking T. You can see right here, we're putting in the same falling wedge pattern, which I do expect before we break all the way down to new lows, to break to the upside, take out this 72.2K high that we set in right here on the bounce. Do expect that to be taken out right there. As you can see, it did here in the last cycle, and then move straight on down. So this is what I'm expecting. But so far to a T, we're following this falling wedge pattern. So it looks good, and I just think we're just going to continue to rotate down. I will move this to the side a little bit here, guys, so you can see a little bit better. But, I mean, look at that. It's just to a T. And you can see where it came down here. We came down, we pumped up, and then we came up, but not quite as high as this first initial pump. Same thing here. We came down, we pumped up, and then we came back up, but not quite as high. And then I'm going to look for it to just range down, just like this, just range down before popping back up, and then ultimately coming down and setting a new low for the bear market low. I mean, this is playing out to a T, and I've had this on here since well before we even got here. We've been looking for this for months in advance, but it's just crazy, guys. You get, over the weekend, you get a little 66K to 71K, not even 70. You get a little $4,000 bounce on Bitcoin, and people start calling for 80K, 84K, all this crazy stuff. I mean, I really think, and I'm not trying to knock any influencers, and maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I eat my words in a few weeks or a few days, but I just don't see it. And what I think, unless I'm wrong, what I think is everybody is so used to, and I keep hearing them say, they keep saying, we've since the bottom, we've only bounced 20%. I just can't imagine that 20% is all the bounce we're going to get. And I just don't think they understand, or they don't remember that, yeah, when you get retraces and bounce in the bull markets, you get 40, 50, 60% pumps. But in the bear market, or the bear leg down, when Bitcoin gets a 20% bounce, that is massive. Most of your bounces are like 8, 10, 12%. So we got a 20% pump, okay? And we've looked at this chart for the last 2 cycles, right? We've looked at this chart last 2 cycles. And in this particular area, from this leg down in the bounce, last 2 times we got a 26 and 27% bounce here. So we're at a little over 20% now. So, I mean, we're right on par with what we've gotten in previous years here. So if those people calling for 85, 86, 90K, I just think, I'm just not sure what they're looking at. I'm not sure what they're looking at. So maybe they've never been through a bear market. I don't know. And if they have, maybe they just forgot that Bitcoin bounces in the bear market aren't the same. Just like your dumps in a bull market. You don't dump 60, 70, 80%, but you do in a bear market. So I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. But that remains to be seen. Here's our ultimate target. You know where ultimate target is, but yeah, everything's looking good, guys. Everything's looking like right on track. I do think we're going to bottom right here first week, second week of March. I think we're going to bottom. I think we'll be at the bottom in less than 1 month, or about 1 month. And so far, there's been nothing to suggest otherwise, in my opinion. Let's see what Max says. Nice fetch pump. Thanks for putting us on that Friday. I sold when you updated the Discord this morning and warned of a dump. 13% spot profit. Very good, bro. 13% on spot. There's a lot of money that can be made in alts, guys, right now. A lot of money. Now's the time. Really good job. Salt Chain says same. I was still on H-bar, though. Made over 10% on my alt spot trade. Nice job. Nice job. We're up so much money in alts. I haven't even added it all up. It's crazy. It's crazy. I've sold too. I'm not currently holding any alts. I have sold, but I am looking for a trade. Again, I do think, along with Bitcoin, with this, I think Bitcoin's going to come take out this 72.2 high before ultimately coming down. So I am looking for somewhere. I know it's not an altcoin chart, but I am looking ultimately for alts to follow similar, because, you know, they follow Bitcoin for the most part. I'm looking for somewhere with alts. I know it's not an alt, but when Bitcoin gets down here and I'm expecting this pump, I'm looking to spot buy alts again. Of course, I won't just blind spot in case this is invalidated and Bitcoin just keeps on dumping. So I will look for the things that I look for, but that is my plan as of now. To have one more good spot alt buy come up here. As soon as Bitcoin looks like it's dumping or getting ready to top out and make that final bear leg down, I will sell alts and I will just ride the wave down and look to do big accumulation down here. I would expect once we do finally bottom, wherever that may be, I'm actually expecting a bounce back up into this range, and then I expect range trading for several months right here, just like this. Just like this. I mean, just like we range traded it. Maybe not the exact structure, but just like we range traded it here when we were here back in 2024. So expect them very, very, very similar, okay? And I just, those people who think we're fixing to bounce up out of here, it blows my mind. Like, when we got in this area the first time in February 2024, we didn't leave until November. This was 9 months. 9 months. So I just don't see how these people are saying we're going to spend, you know, what are we at? 10 days or so in here and just, whoop, that's it. That's it. It took 9 months before, but 10 days this time. That just makes no sense to me. I mean, you know, I know there's indicators and technicals and things like that, but sometimes you just have to think logically. Does that make any sense whatsoever? The answer is no. No, it does not. Could it happen? Sure, it could happen. But speaking of technicals, there's nothing on the technicals that indicate that's going to happen. I'll show you more. I will show you more evidence that corroborates that. Matter of fact, let's show you right now. I posted this in Discord yesterday. Also, join the VIP Discord. Go on over to AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. I don't even think I have it pulled up. Let's see. AnthonyLeeCrypto.com. Join the VIP Discord. We have mentorship programs. I will work with you one-on-one live on Zoom. It is interactive, so you will be on there asking me questions. We're going to go over things. Go ahead and join the mentorship program. Back to Discord. So I showed this. This is every cycle in the history of Bitcoin. I haven't marked out the bottoms, and the vertical red lines mark the bottoms of each cycle, okay? And then on the oscillators, I have RSI on the very bottom and Cypher in the middle, right? So you can see here, I wish I had saved this on my chart. You can see here, watch my cursor though. You can see the Cypher momentum wave was significantly down to the downside when we bottomed here, right? We bottomed right about there. We bottomed about the exact same spot in 2018 and about the exact same spot in 2022, okay? Fast forward to current time, and we are nowhere near. We are just, I don't even know if you can see that. We are just breaking through the zero line here with the momentum wave. So at least if you go by what we've done all three previous times, we've got much lower to go in the momentum wave, which means price is going to be driven down. If we roll down to our RSI, you can see where we bottomed on these two, right where this red horizontal line is, okay? So the red vertical matches up, you can see, with the bottom all the way through, okay? So where was RSI? We know where momentum waves were on Cypher when we bottomed, about the same spot. You can see the orange vertical, right? I meant to make this vertical, or excuse me, this horizontal orange, but I guess I messed up. Anyway, you can see they all bottomed at about the same spot. A little bit lower here, a little bit higher here, but not much. Right on the line here, right on the line in 2015, just above the line in 2018, or right on the line in 22. And as you can see, we're significantly above the line right now for RSI. And every single time we've come below this red line. We're not even to it yet. This is on the monthly time frame, by the way. So according to the oscillators, that doesn't mean it has to play out the way, but according to the oscillators and the 100% historical data, we have lower to go. Okay? We have lower to go. For sure, in my opinion. That is exactly how I'm playing. And if I'm wrong, then I'll just have to, then we are like, what, 60 days in a bear market and done? Versus every other time we spend a year, dang near a year in a bear market. So it'll just be a miracle. And you see all these headlines about Trump and the U.S. government and all these trillions of dollars they're about to dump into crypto and Trump's ETF. Y'all seeing this news in the last couple days? Trump's ETF, trillions of dollars the U.S. government's about to pump into crypto. The Senate crypto bill is ready to be signed and passed and signed. All of this news has come out and price is dumping, guys. There's something that I've been telling you guys, and I'm going to tell you again. In a bull market, no amount of bad news is bad news. Meaning, when you're in a bull market, it doesn't matter what comes out. Price is going up. In a bear market, no amount of good news is good news. That means we're in your bear market. I don't care what comes out. Price is going down. Sure, you can get a little baby rally. But all this news coming out this weekend, Trump's ETF, trillions of dollars the U.S. is about to pump into the crypto market. The U.S. Senate crypto bill is ready to be signed and passed. All this stuff, and we're down over $2,000 today. I mean, nothing. Normally, in a bull market, as soon as that news broke, you would have got a massive, 5% Bitcoin candle to the upside. It doesn't matter. If that doesn't tell you that we're in a bear market, I don't know what does. So these folks telling you we're going to 90K, 84K, all this stuff, I will absolutely eat my words, but there's nothing. I literally just showed you. I showed you the historical data. I showed you the fractal that we're playing out to a freaking T. I we can go back and look at the momentum waves, money flow, all in the red and headed down. Momentum waves wide open at the bottom, headed down too. I just showed you bottoming momentum waves here. The bottom, the price bottom, not momentum wave bottom, but the price bottom has been right where this orange vertical line is hit every single time. And we're not even close to there. We just broke the zero line. We're not even close. Same thing with RSI. You can see we bottomed every single time where this red horizontal line is. We're just not there yet, guys. We're not there. So we are going down. Again, one more time, I do expect one little bitty rally to come in here, okay? You can see it right here. It happened last time. As you rode this little falling wedge down, you popped up, grabbed all this liquidity, and then rolled over. I expect the exact same thing. Maybe not the exact number of days. Maybe each one of these candles doesn't hit the exact level to the upside or downside, but I expect very similar structure in price action. And thus far, I've been saying this. I've said this since before we even got in here. I said it way back up here. Thus far, it is playing out beautifully. So I am not getting away from this until they prove it wrong. They will absolutely have to invalidate this for me to not look for the scenario, and it is paying us beautifully. Salt chain, did you sell all of your H bar, or are you still holding on to some? Salt chain says, yep, sold it all. Good job. I think you're gonna get a shot at much, much, much lower prices. Let's take a look at, I'm looking at Fetch AI right now. Fetch AI had a good little run. This is what I was on over the weekend, Fetch AI. I sold last night. In fact, I could pull up my Kraken. I don't have it pulled up right now. But I literally texted someone last night. I don't know if y'all can see that. I texted them last night. Yeah, last night. And I said, I don't want to steer you wrong. I don't know if y'all could read that. Go back, read it. I don't want to steer you wrong, but because price could go higher temporarily, but you should be up a good bit on your fetch chain. I do feel that significantly lower prices are coming in the next few weeks. If it were me, I'd sell now and take that profit and buy lower once it nears the bottom. Someone that I help trade here locally, a good friend of mine, and she's super sweet, and she typically follows my trades, so I let her know. Basically, I never say sell, but I say, you know, if it were me, in other words, I just sold, and you probably should too. And I'm assuming she sold. She said she was going to, so yeah, I expect significantly lower, and I don't mind. I mean, if we were to move straight up from here, you know, first, and we didn't ride this little wedge down that we're expecting, right? If we were to just move straight up from here and take these highs before rolling back over, that's okay. I would just have to miss this. And that's okay. We caught this, we caught one or two in here, and we caught this. So, and I'm okay with that. But I really think I'm going to play it the same way I've been planning to, which is, you know, we ride this little thing down here. So when we do come back somewhere around in here, 15 cents, something like that, I'm going to look for signals that we're probably going to have a good bounce here. Rebuy spot, look to take this high and these highs right in here. Sell somewhere in here. I don't have an exact target yet. It just depends on how far we come down and when and what Bitcoin looks like. But anyway, the point is buy somewhere in here and sell somewhere up here and then ride the wave down. We have not taken out our October 10th lows. I am looking at Fetch AI on the daily. We've not taken out the October 10th lows. A lot of coins have. Fetch has not. So I do think we come take that and probably come down into our point of control here at about 8-9 cents. But I'm a buyer up in here at 10-11 cents. Okay. I'm not going to try to time this bottom. I may not go 100% in here, but I will probably do something like, I'm going to hold two altcoins, right? Most likely WorldCoin and Fetch AI. I may throw a little on Zcash if it hits my targets, but it's going to have to hit my targets. It's way too high right now, so we'll see how that one does. but I will probably throw in, I don't know. I do think we double bottom here, so even if it takes a while to come back, something like this, I do think we eventually come back before moving up and out. So I may throw something like 50, 60% in here. And if we keep heading straight down, great. I'll throw in another 15% there, and if we come lower, I'll throw the rest in. But if we do bounce, I will just hold and then look for a double bottom scenario. I don't think wherever the next big bounce, and I mean big bounce, for Bitcoin especially, I don't think that when that comes, we will come set a new low after that. I think it would be something like this. And then, say Bitcoin gets that big bounce that we're looking for and starts this. I think that would probably be the low for everything. For most everything, not everything. Some things are going to zero. So I would wait through a few months, 50% in here. I would wait a few months and then other 50% here before moving up and out. However, if we roll over here, pump up here, and then roll over, then I will deploy the rest down in here somewhere, and then anticipate a bounce. And this would probably be our double bottom situation that created a divergence to pump up out of here. Even though I don't think we head right into a bull market, I just think we come back up into this area and probably spend several months chopping around. Same for Bitcoin, like we just covered. So that's my strategy for Fetch AI. My other coin that I'm personally likely going to be on is WorldCoin, and WorldCoin looks very similar, not macro similar, but it looks very similar in that it has not yet taken out its October 10th low. So I would look for a similar thing. Come down here, take this out. I'll deploy 50, 60%. I do expect a big rally, something like this. A few months here, come back, double bottom, 50, 60%, the other 50%, 50, 40%, whatever I have left in there, and then I would look for that. Same thing though, if we come down here now and then just kind of bounce and roll over, I will go ahead and put the rest of the capital in when we get wherever I feel like the bottom is. And that'll be that. If we did that, I would not expect a double bottom later. Okay, I would only expect a double bottom later if we had a significant bounce here and then chopped here for a few months. Because either way, I think you're going to put in a larger time frame, weekly, 2 weekly, monthly divergence. You're either going to put it in here with a small bounce rollover divergence, bullish divergence, or you're going to create it here with a more extended range double bottom type scenario, in my opinion. Those are what bottoming structures typically look like. You have two different types. You have the V-shaped recovery one, which looks like this. You come down, you roll back over, and then boom, you V-shape out of there, but you create a good higher time frame divergence right there, right? And your momentum waves would look something like this, right? Like that, and you pull up out of there. Or if you don't get that, you have the extended kind of consolidation bottoms where you come up, or you come down, you come up, and then you consolidate, and then make a double bottom, and then move out, and you still get a slight divergence. It just takes a much longer period of time. And this would be my primary scenario. That'd be my number one scenario. This is what I would expect, but I'm prepared for the other. I'm prepared, but this is what I expect. This is what it looks like historically. I mean, you guys know. Y'all do this. You know. I mean, here we are, 2022, no V-shape. You basically double bottom, put on the bottom, chop, took that bottom, created a divergence, gone. Same thing here in I don't even know what this was, 2019. Came down. This one, you didn't chop as long, you more like rolled over. I mean, this is still a long period of time. November through February, so 3 months, but not like this extended time here. This was June through, January. So this is more like 6 months, 7 months. This was 3 months. So this is more the rollover scenario, rollover to a double bottom, up, roll over, double bottom. Either way, you create a divergence. I could throw in the momentum waves, but they're there. Just trust me. I show them all the time. Or don't trust me. Go fact check. And the other one I'm looking for, guys, I've had some talk about Zcash lately, which is a good coin. I'm not nearly as pressed as most people are with what Zcash has done. Yeah, it's done some good stuff, but everyone's so shocked by this, and I don't get it. I'm like, what do you mean you're shocked by this? This is what Zcash is. This is Zcash's third cycle. I mean, it's always come up here. Look, matter of fact, we didn't even set an all-time high. It came up there. This was not quite as high, but it came up there. I mean, look, boom, boom, and then it did it again. I mean, this is what everyone's like, oh my gosh, this is crazy. It's insane. Why? It's the third time it's done this. It's done it every single time. The people that are saying that just weren't here during this time or during this time. So they can't believe that it did this. I'm like, but that's what it always does. What do you mean you can't believe it? It's done it twice before. This is what it does. I think the problem is, what caught everyone off guard is this coin actually looked, and in fairness, most alts looked really terrible all cycle, right? Most alts looked terrible. They didn't do anything, but this was one of the worst. I mean, this one, you set that cycle high last cycle, 2021, 2022 cycle. You came out of the bear market, right, like everything else. And then you had the bull market. And this thing didn't do anything. I mean, anything. And then now, once everything was done, all the altcoins are done. Most alts are bleeding out like this. Not all, but most alts are bleeding out like this. This thing just out of nowhere went boom. Out of nowhere. But that's what it's always done. So, it's just because it went against the grain. While most, not all, but most alts were bleeding out here in what is this? September, August, September, October, September through November, basically. While most alts were bleeding out. I mean, look, we could just take a look. Let's look at WorldCoin. Here's that same time frame, right here, September through November. All right, September through December. Most alts are bleeding out. Zcash went bing. So it went against the grain from 99.9% of coins, but that's what it's done every time. So I think just folks just thought everything was out, everything was over, and then AI got that little that little pop there at the end, which was nice. It was great. So I like Zcash. I like Zcash because unlike most coins who are not consistent, I know it didn't hit a new all-time high. It came close, but it didn't. But unlike most coins, it did come very close, and it actually beat last cycle's high. However, it is still at or near last cycle's high, while every other coin is like way down here. Almost every other coin. So I am not a buyer at these levels for the Zcash. I do think you're coming significantly lower. I do think you will probably come down here. You've got a huge imbalance here. Big imbalance. You got a weekly vector candle completely unmitigated and another smaller weekly vector candle unmitigated right here. And I think you come get it. There's the old saying, fast move up, fast move down. This was a very fast move up. I think you're going to get a very fast move down. So I do think it's coming. Sooner rather than later. Any questions, guys? Any questions? Everybody's being a little quiet today. I know it's kind of a lazy Sunday. Bitcoin moving up a little bit here. I wish I was, oh wow, it's moving up a good bit. A little pump. I wish I'd have seen this. We were chatting. I would have probably got in some spot alt trade here. We might could have traded that. Yeah, dang, this would have been a good one. Oh, I'm still on the weekly. Duh. But on Bitcoin I wasn't. This is a 15-minute time frame. Let's see what the alts did. Spot. So a little bounce here on spot alts as well. About 1.5%. Good bullish divergences here. I wish I'd have caught this. Too late now. You can't buy in after 1.5%. but this would have been a good one. All right, guys, just short and sweet today. Not much else going on. We're waiting on the daily close. Again, I will show it to you again. I posted it in Discord this morning, but every single time, you can see 1, 2, 3, 4, that this is the weekly time frame for Bitcoin. You've come and rejected value area high and closed in back inside the range. You have rotated to the value area low within that same week, I believe. This one took 2 weeks. Close in here, next week, close in here, next week, close in here, same week. Once it took 2 weeks, but every other time it's happened that same week. You can see last week we barely closed above it. We were flirting with the line this morning, but we're not right now. We're significantly above it. Where is my chart? Here it is. We're significantly below it, excuse me. So we were flirting with it earlier today. We've come down into it, found some support at point of control. So if we do close inside this range, I would expect this week, next week at the latest. But with Asia being closed in the market, it will be easier manipulated. I would expect probably a quick move down here, at least down here. So we'll see. Everything hinges on this close right here. You can see it every time in the past. Close in next week. Closed in next week. Closed in 2 weeks. Same week. And here, when you left it here, you came back, you wicked in, but you didn't close in, and you moved out. So big, important weekly candle close today, guys. That is pretty much all I got for you today. Just a quick little weekend update. Those of you watching this, we will be looking to trade here. We'll be looking for pullback trades. We'll be looking for closure inside of here, outside of here. Likewise, if we close outside of here, I do think, let me drop down to a lower time frame. If we do close the weekly above this time frame, my ultimate target is to come to, I'll show you on the other chart. My ultimate target here is, I know it's kind of a mess here, but my ultimate target is to come take out this high that we set last week at 72.2. So if we do close above the value area range today, I would expect the next move to come take this high right here before coming down. So if we do get back up here and close above this, I would expect we go ahead and take this and then move down. But I just don't think that's going to happen. I think we close inside the range right here, and I think we rotate down to wherever value area low is, and then probably bounce a little bit more before ultimately heading down. That's what I'm looking for. That's what I'm expecting. We will be back tomorrow for, I say U.S. market open, but U.S. market is closed tomorrow for President's Day. But we will be back for a live show tomorrow morning at the usual time, even though we will not have that. But we can update and see how the weekly closed, and we can look for trades nonetheless. So that's it for me this time, guys. I will see you next time.